We must pay homage to him. Shout out to Homage, the producer. Testing, testing. Yeah, I didn't do a sacrifice to grift anybody so I could get some money to get upgraded technology, upgraded equipment. Prosperity Tech in the building. What's going on? What's going on? What's the word? Greatness. How y'all feeling today? Salute to everybody who's gonna come into the chat. Salute to the people who are liking, subscribing, sharing. Salute to the people that are gonna catch this on the replay. Salute to all the good people in the world. Hope you're having a wonderful day, evening, morning, noon, afternoon, night, everywhere you are. How's everything going? Let me see what Prosperity's talking about. Are you serious? Are you serious? This is what I mean by same tactics. Yo, I just was gonna go by yesterday's information when it went up to what, 100 and something million. Now it's at 300. I could understand. It's at 300 million. Oh, he's yo, like the same tactics. But see, I was gonna speak about the same thing, but based on what I saw yesterday, I didn't know it went up to 300 million. You see what I mean? And it's not even it's already money that he got from the community. He's like rewarding himself. He's sacrificing to himself. This is how self-absorbed this guy is, yo. Yo, how you sacrifice to yourself, bro? Wow. Diversify. Salute, salute, salute. How you sacrifice to yourself? Easy, easy, because he's done it the first two trips. The first two trips. These people, yo, it's the same thing. Nothing new. I should be more anonymous. What's goody? Yeah, yeah. Like, oh, it's bad. Like, wow. And when I say bad, is really like this is the same thing he did in 2021. The same thing. And look what it's done for the chain and the decks and for the investors who sacked. Look what it's done to date since May 12, 2023 to now. Pulse chain, pulse X. Look what the sacks, how they were top heavy. 600 million was sacked for pulse chain. 1 billion minimum was sacked for pulse X. This thing is up to 300 million. Like this, it's just, what do people think the turnout is going to be? This is a play. This is like the same play. It's the same type of situation. This is why I like, yo, crypto is super boring right now, yo. It's super boring right now. Like regular schmegular boring. And this guy is making it interesting for the worst reasons, the wrong reasons. Talking on a video, talking about how things that are deca millions, deca million, a project that is worth a few deca millions is easier to pump than something that's valued at a billion. In other words, like market cap value at a billion. Meanwhile, you talked about how, you meaning him, he talked about how market cap is a value metric, but you conveniently pick and choose when to apply it, when to use it, and when to dismiss it. And in his last video, he talked about, you know, like people gave and donated real bread, real crypto money for points, real crypto money for points on a leaderboard. that translated into some airdrops where the pulse chain only went up maximum 3x in its entire history. Only went up 3x above SAC. You didn't sell during that time, you've been wrecked if you continue to buy. If you continue to dollar cost average. Been wrecked if you didn't grift anybody, if you didn't issue a scam, launch garbage tokens, create some bum ass protocol, launch a sacrifice. If you didn't do any of those things, if you weren't part of some type of insider group, you wrecked. Like that's just what it is, bro. For the thing to be, look, when is, you said when is this thing? Did anybody, when is that SAC thing over, yo? Because all this money that's being injected and it's, yo, recycled, I should say, because the man is dirty, bro. Like dirty person, man. And these talking heads, these cult members, they can't help themselves. They make excuses for all his behavior. They see this as bullish. Yo, the dude is just replaying what he did. That's all. Replaying what he did with the first two sacrifice projects. That's all. These people created pools to make you feel like you're a part of something. Oh, join the whales, swim with the whales to land on the leaderboard so you could get 3x bonus. So this dude is not only gonna own a majority of his operation. Of course, that's how he rocks. He controls the majority of anything he's done. Anything connected to him, he wants all the control and give everybody else the crumbs off the table. Selfish greed will tell you he's a giving tree, though. He'll tell you he's a giving tree. Whatever pool you're a part of, whatever you did, if you're number one on that leaderboard, expect 3 times whatever points you participated in, right? Or whatever. That's how it was last time. I don't know how it is now because I can't be bothered. I can't be bothered with this. Like focus on participate. Nah, hell no. Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. It's not gonna be a third time. Like these people are just gambling. People are just gambling at this. It's just a gamble. You got weirdos in the community that know better, or I thought they did know better. I thought they knew better. People that used to, talk great about HEX coin and PLS and back in 21 and post on Twitter, all these, yo, they really not bought the whole idea of sovereignty, self custody. They just all they do, they can't even think for themselves. All they do is regurgitate. You mimic, you duplicate, you copy and paste what he says or he writes to the T. Can't think for themselves. These people are, they writing paragraphs on how great self-sovereignty, self-custody in the context of connecting into some prove X. Many of us are talking self-custody and sovereignty years before this garbage sacrifice thing. But you see you see how these people they can't think for themselves. They're mindless. They're like just airheads in the community, y'all. KO Wells and some of them are just like, insufferable. How does it make you feel to see your bag super diluted? You saw it happen with the first and second sacrifices. Of course, it's happening now. He can't, you know. And who do you think is doing it? Institutional money coming in? You see what I mean? Like, these dumb motherfuckers will try to really make this out to be something positive and bullish. They'll tell you, yo, it's 300 million now. Oh, I would like to hear what Buck from Fiat got to say now. Like, I would love to hear his take on this Prove X project right now. Like, not to like really get at him for the sake of getting at him, but I want to hear his perspective because when Prove X started, not only did was the rollout, if there's no rollout, like not only was the introduction super janky, unprofessional, and completely disorganized, no one could really give you a coherent explanation on what Prove X was, right? Buck understood that everybody confused and no one knew anything, so he jumped on his spaces, opened up his spaces to talk about this. And him in his spaces, he of all people mentioned that he thinks this is good for the founder and the ecosystem. Why does he think that is good? From what I remember, he mentioned how since everybody has so much animosity and vitriol for the founder and this whole idea of sacrificing for a third project after the first two practically failed, he said that because people are not going to want to invest as much as they did for the first two, the valuation quote would be lower, much, much lower. I think he even guessed and estimated something like maybe 100 mil valuation, which would allow your founder to be able to pump the chain a lot easier, pump the chain, to pump the project or pump the coin a lot easier than Pulse Chain and Pulse X. You know, they headed a pool where they were landing number one on a pool just to participate in the thing. Was super bullish, super bullish. Now it went from 16 million Improve X Sacrifice Project to 300 million. Oh, then yo, like I wonder what Buck got to say about that. Because in other words, he was the only person who openly, as far as like the sacrifice, these weird community leaders, thought leaders. He ran projects for himself, sacrifice projects, got 10 million for Fiat, Fame, the Flux Exchange, right? His amount, they collected like 10 million for their projects, right? Became somewhat of a influencer by default, and he's the one who corralled everybody to believe, try to lead the community together back in 2023 on the 7 hour spaces, talking about they need to come together and break the maxis. A 7 hour spaces that wasn't recorded. It was called The Elephant That's Not in the Room. And he questioned the how many multiples Pulse Chain would do back then, how many multiples Pulse X would do, because too much money was donated up front. Too much money. 600 million. How you pumping that to Valhalla? How you pumping $1 billion to Valhalla in a project that people don't really care for like that? Like, you know, people don't like RH like that. It's clear and evident. Look how much money before he injected hundreds of millions in Prove X. The thing was hovering at what, 16 mil versus 4 years ago. You right? 4.5 years ago, 600 mil for one project, $1 billion for another. Come on, that's telling. That should show you where the sentiment is at, how people feel. That should give you a real pulse of the situation of how people feel about you and your operation. But I'd like to hear what Buck got to say about that. That's just me. Like, wow, sir. He shot on all them. So now you're gonna give whales all these bags, all bonus bags, so they could repeat the same thing they've been doing on Pulse Chain, dumping forever, on PulseX, dumping forever, and people speculating the founder himself dumping forever, continuously dumping. Again, with the injection of hundreds of millions of dollars, who do you think is doing that? You think Elon Musk is doing that? You think Michael Saylor is doing that? You think Vitalik cares? You think it's anybody else? You think it's institutional money doing this? Come on, be for real. This is the part about this whole thing that's like, I don't even want to talk about like crypto like this anymore. Yeah, you know what I mean? At this, it's just hiding in plain sight. The truth is right there. It's just in your face. A billionaire friend, a group of billionaire friends just said, you know what? Just the last few days, the last week in the sacrifice. Oh, you're having a sacrifice? Let us jump in. We have FOMO now. Your billionaire gaggle of people, of rich people, elitists, saw that there was a ProveX sacrifice actively undergoing right now that's about to end at some point. Let's just pour our money in because this is just the most fire promising situation that we see right now, and we're gonna pour hundreds of no, it's one person that's doing this shit, yo. Like it goes back to the founder because no one cares. Not literally, a few of y'all care. You managed to throw 16 million. The dude pissed on all that and said, nah, we're gonna bump this up to 300 million. The same tactics that were done in 21 are happening now. It's just that's what it is. This dude is super predictable in that way. He's not as smart as he tried to make people believe he was. This is crazy, bro. Wow. Created an opportunity so that he could make money and F everybody else. Nobody cares about, like, this is your giving tree. 300 mil. Oh, wow. That's right. Multiply that times 10,000x. That's only half the amount Pulse Chain got donated to Pulse Chain. That's only half. And you know, there's still time left for the, you know, that's going up. You know those numbers are going up because the ProveX, when's it over? When's ProveX sacrifice? So it's not over. So you know there's gonna be more. Wow. Been lying to the people, lying to the world, falsifying information by way of just rocking people to sleep, telling them all deca millions. Oh, project is better to have a project worth deca millions because it's easier to pump than a project that's worth $1 billion. This shit right here you got is over a quarter is right. It's worth more than $250 million. Oh nah, bro. Like everybody who's talking some positive stuff, they're insufferable. Like imagine the people who were critical and told it be identified as being FUD, whining and crying and all that, where I where were described as insufferable. Y'all that just keep on talk about some bullish super positivity, that brainwash talk, like you need serious help, serious psychological help. No cap, no fool. It's not a joke. I'm not making light of this situation. This is bad. Like this is bad. Like he's showing you what he's about. What's gonna be different now than right? What's gonna happen differently now for the better that he couldn't do for Pulse Chain and Pulse X? What's he gonna do for Prove X that he couldn't do for Pulse Chain and Pulse and what? To help people get a return on their money. Forget about all that over the counter nonsense. Nobody cares. People want to show the folks the money first. All that other stuff is secondary. Yo, people like again, like last year, in May of last year, two people allegedly took their lives in their own hands behind the poor performance of this chain. Yo, this guy got, you know what I'm saying? In other words, the founder, you got blood on your hands, man. You got blood on your hands, on your consciousness. You got, plasma, blood on your soul, stained on your soul, bro. This thing is super. Like, I mean, this is incorrigible. That's crazy, bro. Like, nah. There's some other level nonsense. This ain't gonna go. This ain't gonna go well, man. Like, this ain't gonna go well. Whatever. Only way something could change, like, is if something the impossible becomes possible on some other level. I don't even know. I don't even know. Because there's the handwritings here is just the grift of grift. Like it's the same thing again. That's all you seeing. What's different? And the fool is still absent. The fool is still hiding. It's a brand new year. We at a full weekend. And this is how you blockchain is speech. Blockchain is speech. You showing how much money you injecting in your situation. That's how you talking, right? That's how you letting the people know you making moves. Because no one in the industry cares enough to drop hundreds of millions of dollars in your ICO. But you still want to be absent, not be visible, making the same moves that you were making, streaming, jumping on panels for people in your community, hopping on interviews, making more of an internet presence so you could show people that, that you care enough, you around, build that motivation up. All the stuff that allowed him to build a following, still no longer doing because he hiding and being quiet and talking garbage on Twitter, X, formerly known as Twitter. And you pouring hundreds of millions. People are looking at, now the money that was once untraceable and went through Tornado Cash is now coming back. Like, you just super predictable, bro. Folks are, yo, this guy's an absolute clown. He's a joke. An absolute clown. This is who Like, and a lot of y'all who stop, like you guys, a lot of y'all, man, are so disingenuous with it, man. That's crazy. You're so fake. This is wild, bro. Like, yo, you really want to hold on to the idea that Hex is gonna reach $100 one day. Look at how your man is performing today. But you think that this thing is supposed to really reach $100 because you were sold and bought into that idea. And yo, this thing is supposed to reach $100 one day. If they reach, 10 cents, what's 10 cents on the way to $100? Grifting the people, fooling the people, forcing the people to say, you know what, you right. Let me not touch these coins right here. In fact, let me lock it up because you are right, sir. Let me delay my gratification so that if this thing does reach $100 when it's time for me to receive my coins without emergency end staking, right? I'll feel glorious. This is the rules. This is the psyop. This is the scam tricks, grift that folks fell for. Still falling for it today. Oh, you stake your coins. You don't have Hex. Only way you could lose is if you hold liquid. Only way you could lose is if you emergency end stake. Huh? Only way you could lose is if you trade it for garbage. It's already performed, letting you know the dude don't believe in it. He didn't accept it for his latest grift. He didn't accept his own coins for his sacrifice, y'all. For the third sacrifice. He didn't even accept his own Johns. He didn't even accept his own core coins. Bombed his own project on Ethereum. Just that's it. Don't even talk about these things anymore. It's the people that talk, but he wants you to believe that you need to sacrifice for no middleman. And he's the biggest, largest, greediest piece of shit son of a bitch middleman on his own operation, yo. You can't make this up. You can't pretend and create this and act like this is, folly or fictitious. No, this is actually happening, been happening, will continue to happen. This dude is creating a nasty type karma for himself. Like, yo, sir, like some people believe when you do bad, if the shit don't go back to you, it goes back to your progeny, it goes back to your children, it goes back to your family. You know what I'm saying? In some cases, yo, sir, like, yo, don't have children, bro. Cause, yo, imagine what they'll have to go through with this motherfucker's shenanigans, bro. Don't do it, bro. You know, the karmic debt this guy is assuming, bro. That shit is all mental mania. I'm telling you, his mind ain't even all there. He don't even give a f. The dude can't even live free. Can't even be free. Imagine how many people looking for him, yo. Quiet as kept. You see, I'm talking. I don't know who really watching me. I don't know who's listening to me. I say that all the time. You don't know who's who out here. You don't know who's watching you, who's paying attention, right? Be mindful of what you talk about on the internet, with the messages you give, and right? Be responsible. Hold yourself accountable. Like really, because you could affect someone's life. You could really affect someone's life because words have power. And that's just little old me talking like this for years, right? Like trying to be cognizant and conscious of what I talk about, right? With responsibility. Like just be measured, be aware, right? When you add money to the conversation, that complicates things even more. You know what I'm saying? Some of us have foresight. Some of us are intuitive, right? Some of us are able to sort of like analyze history, patterns, watch what's been done before, and you know, kind of like get sort of like a good handle or grasp on what might happen in the future based on previous actions and stuff like that, right? There's no guarantee. Past performance, no guarantee for future performance. We get that. But if you have a community that already is in basic shambles, like the majority of people, don't be mistaken by the blind, mindless sheep that want to support this guy and pretend and cheerlead. Don't be mistaken by it. So many people feel disappointed and betrayed, right? With the performance, with being let down by somebody who claimed he was a giving tree has become absent. Absent. Will tell you that he didn't disappear. Meanwhile, you disappeared. Poor excuse for a man, bro. Sorry excuse for a man. On the run, literally on the run. No matter how you try to dress it up, flip it and bounce it and make an excuse. He's literally hiding. Has been hiding for years. Just because he do a pre-recorded stream, you think he's involved. People act like, yo, he's like so present, like he never was, like he, you know, more than he ever was in his life. All a ruse. These people are so gullible and naive, it's disgusting. All this bread out the window, done. You don't think people want their money and will do anything to find dude? Like really, like be for real. Think about it, like seriously, man. And that's before the Prove X John. That's before he launched another sacrifice. You mean to tell me this is a stable person you're dealing with? You think he reflects mental stability? Great leadership? Who are you fooling? Because you're fooling yourself if you really believe he exemplifies premier stellar leadership. You're fooling yourself. You're lying to yourself. Seriously. Seriously. I'm very curious to hear what one influencer, Sacrifice Project head, how he feels about how this thing is now worth 300 million versus 16 million. And I'm talking about Buck from Fiat. I'd be very interested to hear his perspective and his take on this now that ProveX is worth, right? Or I would say not worth, but $300 million have been sacrificed to it versus less than 20. Damn, homie. That's crazy. In high school, you was the man, homie. How I can do you? What happened to you? Like, that's crazy. Oh, scarcity, scarcity. A super scarce coin, scarcity. You playing with the people again, man. You want everything. And people still blind to the fact. They're blind. They're so hypnotized and programmed, deeply programmed. Want to hang on to every sound and syllable and letter and sound that he musters from his mouth and that he writes on a post. People want to hold on to everything because they feel like they just gave him all their confidence to him. This guy just is showing you who he is. Has done the same thing twice with two previous sacrifices. Now you got another one, the third one. Bumped it up from 20 million to now 300 million. I was just going to talk about how it went up to 100 million. But now it went up, what? Three times that? And the sacrifice is still not over? A dude said freedom of thief, J everything. What's going on, man? Said freedom of thief. Also is close to 0-0. What the fuck? The founder is sitting on billions. I mean, and people just want to speculate. Oh, he wanted to go super low, extra low. You want it to be negative 1 trillion% down. So then it's nothing for him to pump 3 billion x because his negative is down negative 1 trillion. So it's easier for him to pump. Like, this is the excuse. These people make excuses behind excuses and excuses for this person, bro. He's in control of everything. He wants you to go market, go have people go buy these coins. Nobody's interested in buying these coins fresh off the street. Now you got this thing 300 million. Like, trying to create conversation, but it's not the conversation that he wants that he's going to get. Trying to pretend like, oh, there's so many people interested, it's up to 300 million. No, that serves two purposes, right? Fake marketing to make you believe that folks are interested, right? But it's also a greed factor because that's just serving him. Just like Post Chain Sacrifice served him the most. Post X served him the most. 90% of everything he got, right? Control of. It's no different with this right here. What you think was gonna happen? What y'all think that was gonna happen? Some of y'all, and genuinely from yesterday, I saw a lot of them were like surprised. Yeah, your bags got diluted. You're getting bonuses, but your bags got diluted. Because what you think was gonna happen? You thought he was just gonna let y'all rock out without him sacrificing to himself, like he did with the first two? With his first two set? Come on. It's the same tactics. Same tactics. Cryptomatic, what's going on, man? Happy New Year, man. Same tactics, man. Come on, man. Like nobody knows. He was talking about a coin might be launched. You don't know what the purpose of the coin is. He can't even tell you. Because this shit was it was a janky promise coin, whatever project he just taped up together real quick and just said, oh, sacrifice. No middlemen. ZK P2P. Oh, we need this. No white paper, right? No real reference. Nothing organized or set up. I remember the first week he was talking about this thing. Some links were circulating through the timeline on the internet of Prove X. Forget about it. Like the name, people playing with the name. He had nothing together. Very disorganized. You click on those two links, it brought you to another sacrifice of Approve X that was active a week before he made the announcement public. It's all janky, bro. Messy as F. That's your man. That's your man. That's him. And that's who these people want to continue to throw money and believe in still. You know, it's like, again, this is why I used to say, and I'm going to say it again, this dude misused his gift, right? Cause and effect, law of reciprocity, right? He misused his gift. What do you think? What do you think he has in store for him? You want to continuously misuse your gift. You want to continuously deceive. You want to continuously trick people into believing your lies because your behavior does not support so many things I used to talk about years back, right? People are hurting themselves, right? People are not comfortable. They're not happy overall. Forget about the absent, blind, zombie sheep people that glaze him and swallow his kiwis. Nobody cares about none of that. They're always gonna have cult incorrigible, zombie people who just like super religious zealots. You think this thing is a religion? You can do no wrong. I'm not talking about them. I'm not talking for them either. I'm not speaking for them. I've seen enough to identify who's who, what's real and what's fake. You know, can't support hypocrisy, contradiction. When he shows you who you are, believe him. This is the real him. Fuck what he talking about. Look at what he does. Look at what he's done. Forget about what he talked about. You're right. Words empty, baseless. Anybody can say them, even though they're powerful, because that's how you get tricked. That's how you get trained. That's how you get programmed. Right? That's how people catch you, hook, line, and sinker. From the words, the energy it carries, how charming the message is delivered. Look at the messenger, the person who's speaking, right? If they have some kind of sense or wherewithal, right? They know what they talk about, whatever, right? Casting the spell, the right spell to keep you mesmerized and enamored with anything they got going on. Cool. So you not only brainwashed that way because you want to continuously hear, oh, delayed gratification, all this stuff, but you watching the behavior show you something where it presents a disconnection, right? And not only does that bring confusion, but you make excuses for the hypocrisy and the flip-flop behavior that he's done. And everything he's about is to the fore. Because right now, it's just been a fail. An absolute fail. Like he's holding an F on his chest for false chain. F for false chain. F for failure. F for anything derogatory you could think of. That's what he's holding on his chain. And to save himself from further degradation, right? You conjured this thing up within the last 2 months to save his reputation, but it's nothing, there's no ingenuity. He's just using the same thing that got him $1.6 billion. The same thing, same play, same whatever, same tactics, same recycling, same for none of it is his money. It's the people's money he recycling all over again. He playing with, he's flipping, he's doing anything he can to create a mirage. Dirty ass magician. But that's your man's. That's your man's. I mean, for real. These people don't think. Nothing gives them pause. Red notice issued the fall of 2024. You think it gave these people pause? No, you dropped 16 on them because you pieces of shit anyway. You gambling degenerates, you can't even help yourselves. Addicted to whatever, thrill, fear of you know, some type of thrill. Oh yeah, let me make $100 into $1 million. Let me see if he could do it again. Taking advantage and you know, taking advantage and preying on the vulnerable and weak. A lot of y'all not strong like that, man. You pretending like you were, but you're not. I see it. It's like be real. Doesn't matter what I think. I just see it. A lot of these people, they claim like they die hard. They're weak. They're weak. Because if you fail to identify problems within something that you think and you want to be die hard and you fail to identify a weakness, you fail to identify a flaw, you become complicit to the problem. So carry on, do you. But not everybody's not blind. Y'all don't call this guy out. A lot of y'all been around since the beginning. You don't call him out properly, right? Like really, like yo, band together. Unless band together, but you probably in receiving incentives, literally on the inside, getting paid. Cause or else, what self-respect do you have if you're not even you glaze him to no end, and you don't even get paid for it? So what type of self-image do you have of yourself? Right? Because one thing, if you're getting paid, you a scamming piece of garbage, or you making money somehow, grifting in this whole operation ecosystem, yeah, you're gonna keep talking good about it because you're making money. You're on the take. But when you're not on the take and you still super bullish on some blind shit, there's nothing more I can say, that's very telling. That's even more telling than him and his grifting and the believers. This thing's been down 90% minimum, average 90% for years. For years. And y'all still holding on to some hope? Because you think something different? It's his operation. He's not going to allow anybody to come in and outdo him, outperform him, out-own him. Created that by design. Who he's giving up the keys to for the OA. You already know he got admin keys throughout his operation, post chain, etc., OA, etc. Who he giving up his key? He's never gonna do that. Forget about that. Tornado Cash is in the clear. He's gonna keep mixing his money so people won't be able to track it or trace it. That's evident. Yeah, it took 600 million for the ETH a month or two ago and threw it in the Tornado Cash. Yeah, where's the ETH? Yeah, the ETH. Guess what? A portion is back, and then it's in Prove X to benefit him again. Not you, not I, not us. No, benefit him again. But he's gonna be on. He's telling you under the guise of Giving Tree. You're getting a bonus. It's Giving Tree. Nature of the Giving Tree is to give. And so since you sacrifice for no middleman, you get a bonus. But what he accepted was nothing he created. He accepted other crypto that had real crypto value, real monetary value. Crazy, right? No, it's not. And if you question, you get ghosted. If you question, you get muted. If you question, you get blocked. So you wonder why, when he faked the funk and try to act like he wrote some questions down that he right? That he got from the community questions. You know that shit was filtered. You know that shit was screened, fake, because he blocked so many people that had the real hardcore questions, the real questions for him that he don't want to, right? Answer to nothing. When somebody's dead wrong and they still acting strong, it's crazy, bro. To be wrong and strong, bro. That's your man's. Believing that he's right. You're not gonna airdrop your community, the people who believed in your first two sacrifice. They're not worthy of getting an airdrop from ProveX. No, they're not worthy. No, they're begging. They're beggars. You insult the same people that supported you, that gave you relevance this whole time. That's your leader. He gave 100 to 200 Cryptarian. What's going on? He said he gave 100. The 200 hex sacrifices everything. The 2% took the real money and run. Look, they were the smart ones. They knew. They were the smart ones. Your founder's a piece of shit. They were the smart ones, man. And dilute the situation. And what wow, bro. And y'all see, you think it's cool you making a move right here? Oh, new sacrifice. Oh man, we just need this. Oh, self-custody, self-sovereignty. Yeah. Yeah, just gonna promote independence. Huh? Not your keys, not your no middleman, no third party. He's the biggest, largest intermediary, the largest risk factor in his own operation, bro. Being gone shows you that. Being gone, absent for 3 years, shows you that. Like, come on, bro. Like, you gotta be in a position where, dude, gotta burn your own coins, lose your keys, disappear, some, community takeover or whatever, to see some kind of change, or him actually wake up, right? Evolve from his sociopathic personality flaws, right? Some shit got to give, or like, suffer the consequences of your actions. Suffer the consequences of your actions. And that's where it's headed. That's where it's been headed. Because the chain cooked. Like, his reputation cooked. He ain't, garbage. Garbage. You pump ProveX. Why can't you pump, 300 million? Why couldn't you pump Pulse Chain? Make it make sense. Oh no, that was just because it's a what infinite right? Infinity bug, inflation bug. What? You could inflate that to forever. I thought you could burn a portion of buy and burn, huh? This Dex. Oh no, deflationary. Yeah, buy and burn. So why can't ProveX? Oh, super scarcity. We're gonna try the scarcity model. Deca millions. Anyway, it's easier to pump. This shit is 300 million. Pump that shit then. Pump it. Pump it 1,000x. Good luck. He cooked. Cooked. Dude, cooked. You pump ProveX, what happened to the rest of your coins? You cooked. He cooked himself. Take care, y'all.